Here I am with Darryl Strawberry here at the Lakina Yankees signing. Darryl, how are you today?
Doing great. It's great to be here, and it's a little chilly in New York, but it's nothing new. It's winter time.
That's true. It is winter time. I'll tell you one thing. After this interview, you got to go straight to radio or TV because you got one heck of a voice, brother. Darryl, describe your years playing for the New York Mets, winning a World Series at a very young age with the New York Mets, and then going to the Yankees. How was it to play for the Mets?
It was very exciting. My whole career started. I got drafted in 1980 by the New York Mets, and I came up in '83 and ended up winning Rookie of the Year, and then Davey Johnson came up '84, and the team was in a transition, and we started to move forward. And it was exciting to see so many young players like myself and Doc Gooden, Lenny Dykstra, Wally Backman, young guys, that were starting to develop an organization that was starting to move up to the big leagues. And we had a great pitching staff with Darlene, Sid Fernandez, and then we ended up acquiring Bobby Ojeda, and we just started moving in a direction, and we ended up getting into the playoffs, which was a tough series, in 1986 when we had the battle against the Houston Astros, Nolan Ryan and Mike Scott, and we ended up winning that series and getting into the World Series. And we lost the first two games, but it was a year for us to believe in ourselves, and we believed in ourselves, and we came back, battled to win the next two, and we just went on and played great baseball, and finally ended up winning the World Series that year.
For you being a vocal and the centerpiece of that New York Met team, and also I think Gary Carter coming to that team really helped you settle that team down, a veteran catcher handling that pitching staff, you being a bright budding star talent along with Doc Gooden there, and guys like Ray Knight was on that team because I remember him scoring the run there when the ball went through Buckner's legs, but you still had to play Game 7. People don't realize it. You still had to play Game 7. That was a blowout in Game 7. Did you feel a lot of pressure playing in New York at such a young age because you were taken number 1 overall in the draft? What type of pressure did you feel, or did you feel any pressure at all?
No, I really never felt pressure. I mean, I was the kind of player I just love playing baseball. I think too many players, put too much pressure on themselves to play. And it's still the same game. The game is between the lines. It's not about what people are saying. Yeah, of course, people are going to boo you and people are going to cheer you. You just got to be able to learn to live with the highs and the lows. And we were able to do that. We, like you said, we were young. I was young, but we had great leadership, with Hernandez and Carter, Ray Knight, guys that were veteran players that had been around in the big leagues, that helped us helped us and brought experience to us to, understand to be able to play in this kind of atmosphere. And we loved it. We loved playing in the atmosphere. We loved winning. We loved the challenge. And we were great, and the fans the fans believed in us, and we believed in ourselves, and it just made it all better, when you have both sides believing in you.
Without a doubt, you have to have someone in your corner, and it's always nice to have someone in your corner. Now, I know you go through some troubles and tribulations through your lifetime, and some people don't want to talk about it, and some people say, well, that's what got me straight, and I know you went and found the man upstairs who's the greatest guy of all time, of course, and you go to the New York Yankees, also win some World Series out for the New York Yankees. What was the difference from playing with the New York Mets and then going to the New York Yankees, putting them pinstripes on? What was the feeling for you from the Mets to the Yankees?
Well, the Mets were like homegrown for me because I went through minor leagues and developed and learned everything, how to play the game, and played in New York. And then having the opportunity to come back and, play for the boss, George, and with the Yankees, it was just awesome, At the time, I had been through troubles and trials and tribulations, and he was the only one decided that he would bring me back into baseball. If it wasn't for him, I would have never made it back to baseball. So I'm always grateful for the boss and the Yankee family and what they mean, because they care about people and they care about winning too. And the winning tradition over there we're putting on the Yankee pinstripes was just, we had a phenomenal time. Won 3 championships there.
You got to be proud of winning 4 championships in your lifetime. That's a tremendous feat to win the World Series 4 times. You make people, or how many players didn't get to the World Series, they get to the World Series and never win that World Series. To win it 4 times, you got to be really a happy guy winning the World Series 4 times.
Well, you're grateful because you never know if you ever get there, and that's the whole thing. Some guys have played their whole careers and never even stepped into the postseason or had the opportunity to play in the World Series. And I was fortunate to be able to play in 4 World Series and be on the winning side of all of them. So it's a good feeling.
One name comes to me for the World Series, never got there, Ernie Banks. Let's play to Ernie Banks. Shame, 69 almost got there, but he never played in the World Series. And I always thought that if he did play in the World Series, they might recognize his name a little bit more than Ernie Banks. Let's play too. Darryl, I want to ask you one last question. You played in the New York Mets, you played in Yankee Stadium, and then you go play for the Dodgers. What's the difference between the West Coast and from the East Coast to the West Coast. What's the difference between those two time zones?
Well, the East Coast people are sports fanatic. They know the sports and they love the sports, and they're very knowledgeable about the sports. The West Coast is more laid back. I don't really think they sports hungry like more of the East Coast. Out in West Coast, they're more basketball. They love the Lakers. They're not familiar with the Dodgers and the Angels much. They're Dodger fans. It's a lot of history and tradition, but they're more Hollywood. They're more into the Hollywood scene and who's a celebrity and who's a star. And New York fans are not like that. New York fans crave, die, sleep, eat, bleed. Met fans, Yankee fans, Knicks fans, Islander fans, Ranger fans, and then you even have Jersey, the Devil fans. Now we got Brooklyn too. So New York is pretty well surrounded with the sports atmosphere, and they love their teams.
Darryl, thank you so much for everything. You seem like you're really at peace with yourself, and things are going good for you. And I congratulate you on what you're doing now, and God bless you, and just keep on doing what you're doing, brother, because you do a great job at it.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Darryl.